you know?
Gotta fly in the sky.
It's been really sunshiny here lately.
It has been miserable. It's cold. It's raining.
It's cold again.
We've currently got the heating on.
Realize she's in England.
I know, but like,
shocked. This is like a thing that people talk about.
Like it's summer now. It's not even like,
yeah, and we've got the heating on. Like, what is that? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I should probably close my. 1 second. I just want to prevent there from being any sound.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, Jess. That's
It's okay.
brutal.
It's not your fault.
I mean, the heat is on at your house.
Oh my gosh.
That's tough. That's really, really tough. I mean,
it's life.
I like my winter clothes. Don't get me wrong, but like, this is not the season for them. It's just not, you know? It's not. Whew, my goodness. Well, I'm going to start the show on that note.
On that
Hello.
Get it warmed up. Get it warmed up in here.
It warmed up. And it's going to it's going to continue to warm up. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great rest of your summer, our summer in our respective locations. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Hello to our Twitch users and viewers. Welcome to the Arghon AI live stream. My name is Paula, and I will be your host today. I am joined by the lovely Jess and the lovely Lauren.
Hey.
Hi, ladies.
Hey.
We are so happy to have you here today, tuning in and hopefully joining in on the conversation with us. If you are new to this channel, we are Arghon AI. We are a little part of a bigger team of people who represent Arghon. We are an artificial intelligence company, and if you would like to learn more about who we are, what we do, some services we provide, head on over to arghon.com. That is www.arghon.com. You can catch us on our social media platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Arghon AI. That is ARGHON AI. We also have a YouTube channel with lots of fun and informational videos pertaining to the conversation of artificial intelligence. That is youtube.com/Arghon. If you are curious as to what Arghon AI looks like in action, you can head on over to arghon.com right now and download the Arghon AI to all of your devices. Begin interacting with Arghon. Ask it some questions. Have it help you organize your life, make things that you do in your day-to-day, just make everything a little bit more efficient, easier, save you some time, so you can spend more time pursuing things you would like to do. Arghon also has an initiative right now, and it is available for everyone for free. It is called Vision 2020. Vision 2020 actually is a platform that allows you to learn how to code for artificial intelligence, as well as practice your newly attained AI coding skills. You can practice on the same platform. So if you head on over to arghon.com/Vision 2020, begin learning how to code for artificial intelligence. If you already code, hey, why not learn a new language in ColleScript? If you are new to coding in general, welcome. And I hope you enjoy the educational lessons to take you along your coding journey. All right, ladies. How are you doing today?
Fantastic. I'm happy. I'm good. I'm fantastic.
Yeah. Just a bit cold, but apart from that, I'm good. Yeah.
Good.
I'm just here by the heater. It's fine.
You can see the radiator behind.
It's on and kicking today.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm doing all right. I can't complain.
Good.
It is sunny. It's warm. But yeah, it's it's another day. We get to work, and one day closer in everything, just life. One day closer to great things, to great things.
To our goals.
To our
Yeah.
goals. Yes, absolutely. So it's always a great day when that is the perspective, and it's also a very joyous day when I get to work with you ladies. So
Yeah.
it's a good day. It is a good day. Okay, and okay, for those who are tuning in, we usually start our shows with a random question. Do either of you ladies have a random question today?
I don't, but I could try and think of one.
I'll let Jess think of one.
Go ahead, Jess. Yeah.
I'm going to try and not do a tough one like I did Friday, because that was pretty tough.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's good.
If you could only eat one fruit for the rest of your life, what fruit would it be?
One
And why?
fruit?
Yeah.
Mangoes.
Oh, look at.
I think they're also the most popular fruit in the world. I think that was the thing. Like, it's the number one fruit in the entire world. Like, it's the one fruit that everyone in the world actually likes.
I do like mango. Were you going mango too?
I was probably on a delay, but we almost said that at the same time.
Yeah. You can still go with mango.
Yeah,
I mean,
mango.
We all love a mango. Mangoes are so good.
So what is this deliberation about now then?
Just trying to think of something different.
Oh, yeah.
I do love kiwis. I do love kiwi fruit. It's funny, I was talking about this earlier with my mom, and I was like on a kiwi kick in January and February of this year. Like,
have you tried golden kiwis?
No, but I talked about kiwi, I think, on this show, and you told me about golden kiwi.
Golden kiwi, man. The thing with golden kiwis are, the skin is a little thinner. It looks a little gold. And the seeds all have this beautiful sourness to it. So it's like you have this sweet, and then it's just like these little pops of it's just so good. Golden kiwi is like a really fun variation on a grapefruit. So
I do like kiwis. I think we've currently got some in the fridge. So
there you go.
See, I think I would go with grapes because you get different coloured grapes, which taste different. You can make wine out of them.
It's a double fruiting here.
And also, you can always eat it with cheese as well. So, great.
True.
Mix it up.
Ladies, we've got our first comment.
Okay.
Ashley D, 95.
Hi, Ashley D, 95. Hi.
95.
So they say, hello, you guys are back. We are back. We are.
We're here. And you're back. And we thank you for always being a huge support. And thanks for always tuning in and asking questions. We really do appreciate it. And we appreciate you, Ashley D95.
And then they've gone on to say, I think the one fruit I could eat for the rest of my life would be blueberries.
Hey.
Wow. That was unexpected. But they're rich in antioxidants. So if you eat them for your life, you'll probably also have a really long life. So
there you go.
Yes. And they're low on the glycemic index too. So it's like, it's good. It's good. Berries are low on the glycemic index.
It's not going to be spiking like crazy just because.
Yeah. Blood sugar levels stay. Why am I laughing? Like, that's a thing that's great.
Is infamous around these parts. So love it.
Glycemic levels, steady them with some blueberries. It's good. That's actually a really great fruit too. I wonder, Ashley D95, have you frozen blueberries before? Because that's a whole different revelation.
You know what's nice when you freeze fruits and then you toss them in the blender, so then it's already like a perfectly chilled smoothie.
Yes.
True. Or you can just pop them in your mouth.
That too.
It's like a little cold, like they're really good. You can
Mhm.
also freeze grapes. Frozen grapes are good too.
I like doing that, and then get some Greek yogurt, plain or flavored. But yeah, have some like frozen fruit with some Greek yogurt it's amazing.
That sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this recipe on the gram, and it was basically talking about things you could do with grapes. But like, for people who want like candies, but not really about that candy life. And it was saying that you take grapes. I do believe you freeze them, but basically you take grapes, sugar, and I think either a lime or a lemon, and you mix the sugar and the lime or lemon juice, and then you like roll the grapes in it, and then you freeze them, so then they could become like sour candy.
Ooh.
I mean, again, it's a recipe I saw on IG, so it might be awful, but it just seemed like a really cool take on like the frozen candy idea, and then it's bringing up just as like the versatility of grapes. So that might be a recipe we have to try.
Yeah.
Bites episode.
Hey.
Yes. Sounds good. Sounds great. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that random question, because I think I mean, the way we enjoy food, it's really great that even though this episode has nothing to do with food, we still got to talk about one of our favorite things as a team, so as a group. So thanks.
No worries.
Thank you. Those are good. Those are all great fruits. Now I want some fruits. It's okay. After the show. All right. On that note, today's Throwback Thursday, folks. And if you are new to this channel, Throwback Thursday looks like any way of doing things in life that we currently interact with, how it was in the past, how it currently is, and what a future imagined with artificial intelligence in said topic will look like. And today, our topic is security.
Ooh.
I don't know what movie. I really don't know what movie it was, but like I really want to say security a different way, and I'm just like, it's always lodged in my head. Security.
What
movie was that?
I don't know.
And you want to say like security or something like that, right?
Security, yeah.
Are you sure it wasn't an SNL skit?
It could be. It could be like I don't know. I don't know, but that's what we're talking about here today, folks. And security goes way back, and it looks very different as we progress through time. So let's get started. All right. So originally, security looked like, back in the 10th century, security looked like moats and drawbridges to a castle. Castles served many different purposes back in the medieval times. It could serve as a military, like a thing for protection. If you were fighting in a war or a battle of some sort, this castle could have been protection for, the battalion of troops who were fighting. The drawbridge was drawn up because the weakest part of the castle is the front, the entrance, because it was just, for the most part, an open structure, whereas the whole castle was made of stone or something that was strong and durable. So that is that's the first idea of castles and moats and drawbridges. Whatever was in the middle was important to be protected. And as we moved through the uses of castles, castles were seen as more of a status symbol. So whomever was living in these castles were high-standing people and had maybe reason to need more protection for themselves and their families. So once again, the moat, which is usually like a body of water surrounding the castle. The drawbridge obviously goes over the body of water, but these were the original foundations of security and what we look to see in protection or securing something. Moving throughout the ages, whenever there was something special to protect, um, if you weren't lucky enough to just have a casual castle, people would utilize a technique of just hiding things. So you are hiding treasure, or you are hiding something that is of importance to you, or your job, or your family. People would, go to the depths of the sea and possibly hide them in caves. And this was something that possibly seemed like a good idea at the time. But, with anything, there will also be an opposing and opposition of, trying to find said treasure or whatever has been hidden. So, the pirates and people who were thieves back in the day, they sought out seeking others' treasure, because the treasure was, whether or not it was well hidden or not, if you know that there is much gain to be had by acquiring said treasure, you would look for the treasure. So, okay, so then we are moving on. We are moving on from treasure, going to safes. Safes were a thing to keep all secure documents and keep them in a dry place instead of having to search for them underwater. Safes were first utilized after the idea of a treasure chest, or something that could have the elements exposed to it, depending on the importance of said documents or whatever was withheld in the case. Safes, safes,
Safes are safe.
safes are safe. And as you are going more into business utilizing security, safes were utilized in businesses as a way to protect documents that did not want to be exposed to the world. As we are moving along through security, something that was also important with companies was, okay, I trust myself that I will not, open something or press the wrong button to send a bigger effect to a place. So say, for example, you have a button that could possibly, whoops, you all can hear me, correct?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You can all still hear me. Great. The two-man rule is basically what I'm getting to, is it's not just you in control of what is secure and what is not, but having another person, almost like what we see now is what we'd call it. Well, two-factor authentication is completely different, but just the idea of having more than one system in place, more than one person in place to ensure that, what is being done is done in a way that it's not just one person having full rule over things, which is different to what two-factor authentication is today. But yes, I'll keep it moving. I will keep it moving. The two-man rule. So typically this was seen with keys back in the day. Whatever access you had to bigger documents or security information through your employment. If you were the boss, you had someone working along with you to make sure, the checks and balances was there, that things wouldn't get out of hand just by one person having access and control over said processes.
It's almost like the safety deposit boxes at a bank. Where you keys.
Yes. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Yes. Yes. All right. I am moving on now. Okay, so where we see home security going from castles and moats, we are now seeing safety in regular houses. We are seeing people utilizing animals as forms of safety in the guard dog. If you have other kinds of animals, there are actual specific breeds that were seen as protection for families or owners or livestock. The way that you protected those things, crops, livestock, anything, uh, way back in the day, was through the use of animals. Um, there should be a fun little picture of the
Mm-hmm.
kind of animals, the breeds of dogs that were utilized back in the day, literally bred to uh, for the purpose of securing, land and families, homes, and that is the way people saw security that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we are switching gears from
Okay.
ladies. This subject is very expansive. I'm trying to do security in the home as well as security through work, also security through technology,
Mm-hmm.
which okay, we're going different ways, but guess what? We're moving towards the future. So we're still keeping it um the way businesses were now utilizing the internet in the workplace had to be something where security was set up. So whatever was installed on the PCs that were unique to organizations, there also had to be in-house servers that locked and kept track of the employees' comings and goings on the device, as well as what was loaded onto said computers. So these PCs were regular PCs, but they were loaded with, you would say, company specific, company sensitive, security sensitive information that, they wanted to keep it secure and to only access by the company.
Mm-hmm.
Um, with any way that technology has progressed, there have also been other things that have progressed trying to break through said security standards set in place. So hackers and all of those things come into the equation now, whereas back in the day, security of your pirates is it's actually a term often used right now in discussion of security and cybersecurity. Same idea. Pirates still are trying to take treasure, except today the treasure isn't so much, physical things.
Yeah.
It's data. Data is now the the currency of treasure in in the world of security and businesses and how they are run. Okay. All right. So, through the security evolution, okay, we are getting towards um, firewall in companies, firewall through the actual company. They are now keeping track of their own firewalls. This environment has called for typical perimeter-based security solutions like firewalls, antivirus, and
Yeah.
intrusion detection solutions. So all of these things are put in place, and it is more run through the company. to ensure that everything is staying within the company. But there are also third parties who provide the same services, and it really is just a matter of company preference of who they are wanting to utilize. But cybersecurity has been something that is crucial to companies, and the 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 prospering of said company, that all of this antivirus, anti-intrusion firewall is now big business, because there is a great need for these things to be in place to keep data not only of the company but for users of the company in place and where they should be, and
Mm-hmm.
not leaking to places they have no business going.
Exactly.
All right. And the way that people are now seeing, you are able to not just work from your office. This is still going in the way of, we're getting caught up to present day right now in speaking about security. With the creation of VPNs, which is virtual private networks, you are seeing the ability for many people to securely work from anywhere in the world, while
Mm-hmm.
still accessing and utilizing their company's specific information and the database that is tied specifically to said company. Um, that is really it's really a major thing, because by logging in, having all of your credentials, you are then able to access a network of systems that, years ago you were not able to access unless you were on the computers that the company provided in this office. But now, companies, you are seeing the ability to work from anywhere in the world on your personal devices, which is it's a major it is a major advancement, not only in technology but in security, because through the VPNs there are firewalls and antivirus things in place to keep the information secure, not only of the worker but of the company as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we are moving along. We are moving along. So through that is security through businesses. Now I'm going to say security through the home. Security through the home has changed from the guard dogs that you still see on the screen to now everything becoming more interconnected on your phone, on the internet. We are coming up to present day. This is present day now, ladies and gentlemen, to our
Ooh.
viewers, just updating you. This is present day now, how security systems are utilized. People are able to access their own home, even if they are not currently in their home. Everything has become virtual, via your device, via cloud, via anything that uh, you can access the internet or Wi-Fi with. You can now access the information to securely um, log in all of the credentials to your specific home. Um, it's gone wireless, and it's gone in a way that is ensuring that that same safety and security is being upheld whether you are present or not. There are a lot of camera systems that can be utilized along with security companies that make for a more inc- uh, how do I put it? It's just a really all encompassing experience, even though you are not physically in your home.
Mm-hmm.
With these new, with the new, with the new way things are done right now, you are seeing that people are finding themselves feeling safer in their homes,
Yeah.
feeling safer to go away from their homes, because it's almost like they haven't left their homes with the way security systems are utilized. And set up in their homes today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is security in the home, and that is present day security in the home. So present day security via technology, through the utilization of, cloud systems and things that people cannot necessarily see how the information is being stored. It really frees up a lot of space. Where workplaces back in the day had to have literal servers for all of the information, now the cloud access, it doesn't necessarily have to be in every office, the servers. It's usually just sent to one huge server that can store all information. And these servers are serving many different kinds of businesses. So not just one businesses, it can be thousands or millions of businesses, and whatever information that is securely stored through, encryption and, all of the things that are set up in place to ensure that the information is still staying secure within that business, but is utilizing a third party to store companies' information.
Mm-hmm.
All right. With that said, aren't there always going to be a pirate? There's always going to be a pirate in the group.
Always.
There's always going to be something that tries to go against the grain because, just as I spoke about earlier, and treasure, there is something to be gained by the information. That's why, owners back in the day did hide that treasure, did hide and make sure that whatever was needing to be secure was secured and stored away, so same thing today. There are people on the cyber end still trying to, access information, but what is promising and very leaves me in a hopeful position through all of this is that, every day there is a company that is continuously working on, trying to accommodate for any kind of possible intrusions of systems. There are groups all over the world that continuously work day in and day out on how to ensure that the firewalls are in place, the antivirus software, all of those nefarious software things aren't getting to the user or to the businesses. Utilizing things such as two-factor authentication is something that the user can actually equip ourselves with, ensuring that our information is secure no matter where we are going. Sorry,
This flies.
not yes.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Two-factor authentication really is something that, just doubly ensures, like having the two keys, just doubly ensures that you are who you say you are. Plugging in things twice when having to access very secure and sensitive information, I think should be utilized in a global way, and I do think we are moving to that as we speak. Security. That is security up until present day, ladies. Do you have any questions? Any comments? After you guys say your questions and comments, I can move into the future of it. But
The
yeah,
future.
where we are now. What do you all think?
They will just pass through the screen because I am so tired of this.
Just wants to be on
the entire space to go through, but it's hanging out directly around me.
Wants to be on Twitch, and YouTube. Clearly. And all of that,
Clearly.
Fighting for camera time right now.
He's like, security.
Security. Fly out of here.
We should have definitely handled this fly before it became this much of a nuisance. I do have something to say, but I'll let Jess go first if you.
Yeah, no, it is interesting, and I think if you go from sort of the moats, literally a body of water in the middle, to, you know, safes and all that kind of stuff, and then we go on to the more technical side. I do think with obviously VPNs and that kind of stuff is really good. And what my brain kind of went to, I can imagine during this time, or when we were in fully lockdown, you know, those people working for the NHS and stuff, needing to work from home, and how important having that type of security, because again, it wasn't safe for, you know, certain people to go into work. So the fact that they've got those things in place to obviously, you know, keep secure patients' data, I think is incredible. But also, I was thinking, I've been hearing, and I've noticed it on my emails, a lot of like more kind of spam emails are coming through. And where my point's going, I think as much as like tech develops, I think us as people, we become a little bit more aware of the warning signs as well. So as much as we have, you know, this tech, VPNs, encryptions, all of that to, you know, help us as well, I think us as people, we do develop, and we become, more prone to those sort of like, oh, okay, let me just check what that actual email address is, because you know, it looks pretty legit, but I don't know why they'd be emailing. And then you check it that way. But no, I think it's really interesting. And in you know, regards to security in the home, again, that is a massive thing. Because, you know, it's not like we all have safes and we keep all our prized possessions in those safes anymore. We sort of want to keep our whole homes safe, because everything inside is important to us. It's not just a bar of gold or, you know, those prize jewels. You may have those, which is cool. But yeah, I think it's just we're trying to keep our families, ourselves, and, you know, all of our possessions safe these days. Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah. I turned on the light elsewhere, hoping that it will draw. Because I think what's happening is we have on the bright lights here, so the fly is attracted to the bright lights. So I've turned on a bright light elsewhere. That's why I got up. Hopefully, it attracts the fly that way, before I have to swat it. Anyway, so to security, really great point Jess made about just the fact that there's kind of been this uptick. Forgive the background noise. This uptick in spam and phishing via email and stuff like that. And you know, the thing is, it's so important when you think about you know, security. It's one of the major things that happens when you're talking about security is that, you know, as you level up your security parameters, the people who are trying to poke holes in it also level up. So it's not a one and done solution. It's an ongoing process. And so, you know, back in the day when you could just say hide something and pretty much just, you know, if it's at the bottom of some sea or whatever, then, you know, chances are you know, the average person is not going to go after it. It's fairly secure, and you might just have a guard sitting there. But now we have to have ever more sophisticated and kind of invisible means of security, both for our actual physical spaces and homes, and also for you know, our online and digital lives and spaces. And so it's a very big deal when you talk about like cloud computing. You know, hacking, people being able to get information from someone, because not even having to hack their individual computer, but being able to just go through a cloud system somewhere else and be able to get it, you know, that's a big concern and question. So, you know, it's so that's why it's so important, the kind of security measures that your you know, your IT team and companies take, you know, and we feel very, you know, knock on wood, you know, lucky, blessed that, you know, the people that we have managing that for us, Exos, you know, they're really top notch. They know exactly what they're doing, and they take it seriously. Because when you're dealing with something like AI, and privacy is a big discussion, it's so important. So I won't get into much to that, because I know that will probably bleed into what you're talking about in the future. But I did want to bring up something, since we were talking about home security, and we live in the day of you know, being able to vocally say Black Lives Matter. Just wanted to bring up that Marie Van Britten Brown and her husband Albert L. Brown from Queens, New York, actually got that first patent on, I think it was in 1969 for the first closed circuit security system. And that's actually a direct, that led directly to the modern security systems that we have here. So again, you're seeing these advancements in security and seeing that, Black women have been a part of this. It's just, I think it's something that should be highlighted and talked about because it's very
Yeah,
definitely.
thank you. You know what's so crazy? I have that up. I googled that. I was like, when were the 1966? Yeah. Marie Van Britten Brown.
So there's a discrepancy there, but point is we bring it up. And
oh, sorry. Yes, 69.
No.
Yeah.
So it's just it's a great thing to just note all the contributions that diverse people have brought to this space, and because our company, our whole ethos is about everybody being welcomed into the tech space. From our perspective, we think it's a great thing to highlight narratives like those that actually are a big part of how we experience home, because even when you talk about the future and future home security, everything would be based on things like what this woman with the help of her husband created.
Yeah.
Marie Van Britten Brown is her name. So yeah, I'll just write that in the comments for anyone who wants to kind of look her up. But yeah.
Yay. That's good. Thank you. Look at the Browns just like coming through the technology world,
but if we are
really just wanting to make something to better the masses, which I think is very encouraging, to create things that can not only help and serve the person in which it's being created for, but to really have everyone in mind. To create something such as a home security system. You're not just thinking about your own home. You are thinking about your family, friends, people you know, but people you don't know, just to ensure that everyone can have a safer future and life. And I think that human spirit is something that I hope can be emulated over and over and over again through all generations to come. So thank you for including that, and thank you for reminding me of that, because it is important. It really is important. So thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Okay, ladies. The future. The future. What does the future of security look like? Well, right now, security looks like with utilizing artificial intelligence. I do believe that artificial intelligence could really combat some of the issues that we are seeing as the emergence of being able to virtually work wherever you need to in the world on your own personal devices and access your company that you work for's database and information. There does come a lot of risks with that whole interchanging. So as it has gotten easier to access your work through your own personal devices, comes in many different issues and risks that weren't there before, in terms of spam that might look like your company's information but it actually isn't, and phishing. I think that's what phishing is, when it comes to disguise itself looking like something that you are already a part of or already enter your sensitive information into, but actually it is nothing that is of the company that it says it is. That's a thing a lot lately. I mean, it's really bad. I don't know if it's because everyone is home currently, but
those people are no longer working a day job, so they have 24/7.
They've got time now.
They have time to scam, and so sometimes I feel like what happens is they definitely will buy, listserv, like buy contact information, and then they send text message saying, "Hey, we're your blah blah blah." So,
Um,
your password by clicking this link.
Yeah, and it's
right?
always like the vulnerable people, because I think that actually happened recently to my granddad, and luckily enough, he sort of checked with my sister before he did anything. But it was like, oh, you've won something, and normally to us kind of tech savvy people, would be like, well, that looks a bit funny. But he sort of was like, oh, should I do it? And my sister was like, no, you should not. They're asking for information that they do not need. So
And that's the thing.
It's
But
a thing.
it's not just older people.
no,
Sorry, Paula. I will throw
No,
the
no, no. No,
But it isn't just older people,
no, of
because it
course not.
happens to younger people too. It's happened to me. Not I didn't fall for it, but where they'll send and they'll say it looks like some social media site that you might
Yeah.
belong to. And it again, branding is almost perfect. Like you really, I mean, even down to like the address on the bottom of the screen,
Yeah.
like they really take the time. It's the best online forgery you've ever seen. But you have to realize that just because they hit you from multiple angles, again, if you've sold something or bought something online and had to give your phone number, or legitimately, but had to give your phone number and that got sold, or there's so many different ways that they can access you, that we have to remember that just because they can reach you doesn't mean they're legitimate.
right.
Just because they look like something, and you're like, wait, but they reference my exact picture and everything. It's like, yeah, because it's all publicly available. They can easily get to you. So you have to, if you're going to do anything, it's like, go through the site. I'm just saying this as kind of a general PSA, but like if someone is saying you need to change your password or re-register something, go to the actual site. Never click the link in the email or the message. Go to https/whatever your social media is. Go to the people directly. Do not go using any roundabout link, no matter how legitimate it looks. If they sent you an email, they better have another way for you to do it directly from the site without having to go through that email. So, all right, I'm done.
No, it's good. These things, as you know, pirates from back in the day have really learned to become more sophisticated in the way that the attacks have been more sophisticated along with the technology shifts in security. It's a thing that now a whole generation that has been raised up with computers are having to be trained into what to look for. If you are getting emails that are requiring social security numbers, what does that look like compared to, you know, is this a necessary item for them to even attain, for me to still use the website? A lot of the younger,
the two-factor authentication. Like, it's not just, hey, social security number. Sometimes it's not that overt. That's kind of more overt now it's that it looks like this is your code to reset your password. If this doesn't work, please go to this link to reset your password. Just like the two-factor authentication. The only problem is you didn't press the button to even start the process. But they're hoping that you forgot or weren't paying attention, so you just go, oh, okay, right, yeah, let me go and do that thing I forgot to. No. Again, always go through the site directly. Never take...
absolutely.
And that's why I always click on the actual email, like the address that it's come from, because normally if it's fake, it will be like this most random email address, where if it is something where it's like, support@twitch.tv or .com or something, that's more legit than XYZ at blah 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 blah, and you're like, well, that definitely is not legitimate.
Or like Twitch and then it's some other random something.com. Like, still not their official thing. Like, that's
no.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Go.
No, it's okay. I see the future right now with security. I see a trend in companies becoming a lot more transparent with what is secure and what currently is not secure on their own websites. You know, any social media that you utilize, you'd like to know what can be seen and not seen from the outside world. I do believe that it's a step in the right direction, but I do believe staying on top of what is actually being, you know, updated in the updates that are happening on social media that we use and interact with every single day. that is important. I also believe that uh, just knowing where you've been logged into and ensuring that the email is correct, all of these things can go towards a safer internet experience, a safer and more secure internet experience.
Yeah.
Um, where I see where I see security going with artificial intelligence is a more seamless experience. If there's a current threat on your information or a data breach, for your AI to, alert you immediately and say, hey, you were just logged in and, you know, say like you were just logged in from a router number or a VPN in Brazil. We see that you are here because we've interacted with you all day through your home address and not only just alerting you but taking the steps in place what needs to come after. So it's great to alert. And I see a lot of things now, they alert, but what steps are proactively being taken after that alerting phase? I really do see artificial intelligence coming in and just putting up extra walls, that backup walls in case a breach happens,
Yeah.
which I do know that AI is really being created in a way that, you know, accommodating for all of the possible threats out there. When something is created with those things in mind to counteract them, I do believe it leads to a more airtight experience, not only for the user but for the company on the back end side of things. When you ensure that all of the security measures are up to par but above the standard of what currently is in the trend, or what currently is the standard, when you go above that criteria, it creates an even more airtight experience, which in the long run uh, will be better for all companies to do it that way.
Hmm.
Because when things breach that wall, it's an experience. So what I am optimistic and hopeful about in the talk of AI and security is that, all of these things are being considered currently, and not only just considered, but they are counteracting by putting in place the firewalls, the encryption that go into all of the ways that you interact with your AI. It really is something that it leaves the outlook very bright, because the possibilities are endless through AI, and it being a secure and safe experience, as well as one that can assist you with every part of your life, um, is it's great. So not only securing your information but securing your home in a different way. It's just all encompassing of ensuring that, okay, yes, you're home, but just because you're home doesn't mean that all of the security things are off, or not currently working, underlying your movement throughout the home, or the movement of your family, if they go outside. This security is something that goes much farther than just your home. For the security to be with you in your car, when you're walking. So if you are outside running, going for your exercises, for AI to be with you to ensure your security and your safety through everyday tasks, that really is something. If you are primarily solo in things that you are doing in life, to have something there to ensure that you are safe and secure through those processes, to be able to call 911, or be able to walk you through, say you are choking on something, and to walk you through via your home or your phone if you're not at home, what to do in these situations to try to stay calm, or, do the Heimlich maneuver on yourself. These things are things that, yes, everyone should be able to take into account, but also have something that can carry out these things. Ladies, I'm going to open up the floor to you because I don't want to just talk about all of this, because honestly, it covers so many things. So I want to see other perspectives too. So
Yeah.
yeah,
My
floor is yours.
my brain, yeah, is going into so many different things. And it's interesting you kind of saying about, your AI being able to be like, hey, so, we know by your schedule, but also you've been interacting, in your home with me, that you're not in Brazil. Also doing that in real time, because normally, okay, unless you've got social media sort of linked up, that to authentication type thing linked up to your phone, it might just be through your email. And again, if you don't have those notifications actually physically pop up, you might just open it and that might be like 5 hours ago. And you're like, oh, okay, that's a bit scary, because actually you don't know what's happened. So even your AI sort of in real time being able to be like, right, this is happening, but then also knowing what to do. And it's sort of like, don't worry, I'm putting this in place to secure your data. So and it's kind of learning from that, which is really cool. But sort of in the home, I think the ease of use, and it goes into the Internet of Things, sort of, you're in bed maybe and you've got it linked up to different devices in your home, and you're sort of laying there and you're like, did I lock the door? And you're like, I've just got into bed, like I'm ready to go to sleep. And rather than you having to get up and physically go and look, you may not even have to pick up your phone. You can just be like, hey, insert AI name, can you check my door, please? And then, you having that reassurance that, okay, right, I know that I've done it. And again, not having that thing, because I know some people, if they are really stressed or they've got, things like OCD and stuff, again, that procedure of having to check things over and over again, it can be seen as an aid in that way as well, which I think is really amazing. And then I think of sort of security in the sense of, so, you have your cameras linked up outside, but your AI sort of being able to recognize, the familiar people, your friends, family that are coming in and out. So say, for instance, you live with, a friend, a partner, or whoever, and for one day they just forget their keys and they lock themselves out. So the AI being able to be like, right, we know this is a safe person. They're trying to get in, but we know they're not trying to break in, steal your things, and destroy your home. We know it's fine. And then
Factor authentication to get into your house, where you're like, all right, so what's the password?
yeah. But then that kind of goes into sort of, false alarms. Then that stops wasting police time and all of that kind of stuff, because your AI is able to recognize familiar people, but then in the other sense be able to recognize dodgy behavior and then sort of be like, right, that doesn't look like the postman, or that doesn't look like whoever. We're going to be
following the established pattern.
We're going to be on high alert and think, right, what are we going to do for right now until we know that this person is safe? What can we do to protect the humans home? But there is so many things, isn't there?
Yeah,
those are all really good points. I mean, because security, and so, okay, this is gonna sound weird, but I feel very comfortable with you all and with our Twitch viewers. You all can hear about this stuff. So I was looking up about close personal protection. I was like looking up information on that.
Yeah.
And one of the things that struck me as I was doing research on that topic was that how much more than just fighting the bad guy goes into security.
Yeah.
The smallest things, from like luggage management and tracking your packages to ensuring that you have all the hotel keys that you need, ensuring that your itinerary is smooth and clear, ensuring that you don't have a certain kind of like roadblocks in not just physically, even though yes, but also like in the no bottlenecks in your path between what you do in the morning all the way through to the end of the day. There's so many different parts that are things that are involved in security and ensuring the security of, they call it the principal, but like whoever the user, the client, and both of you, Paula and Jess, you mentioned, Paula, you were talking about things like, okay, well, if you need to, if there's a choking hazard situation, or Jess, you just mentioned, my brain just blanked, but the thing you just mentioned, where it's like there are so many different things that are involved in security. And the great thing about AI, when you think about that, is that it allows for some of these things to be streamlined and smoothed out. If you have good AI, and I'm speaking generally here, but obviously, if you're a security company and you want to partner with Arghon, reach out to us. But being able to actually have some of those things, those skills, those things that can actually aid in home security, right? Making sure, like Jess said, yeah, that was it. When Jess was talking about like being able to monitor, are my doors locked, are my windows open? I remember we went to Kali had a speaking engagement in Boston, and we were talking to an IoT company that actually used lights as part of a security measure within the home. I can't remember the company's name off of the top of my head now, but essentially just even the process of being able to simulate and create the image of someone's home and certain things like that an AI can help do to reduce risk, reduce the obvious or overt gaps in security that security personnel, if you've got a home detection system, or you've got someone actually working to keep you safe physically, they can't cover every area all the time. So again, this, when we talk about lifestyle enhancing super companion, when we talk about our AI, it's this idea of it really plugging into these gaps that exist. So it's really exciting when you look at security from that physical perspective. But then going to the digital, the digital frontier, and kind of that open terrain. There's so many different ways. Obviously, we're not getting into them here because that is part of being secure. You don't tell everybody all your stuff. But it's this idea of it has to be baked into the system. It has to be a part of how you operate. And again, it's just AI. We see AI being so much a part of that, even if it's just in messaging, right? And this is not anything deep when I say this, but like Jess said, getting email alerts that say, "Hey, someone just checked your thing," is helpful because you go, "Oh, I should change my password." You know what I mean? Not the phishing scam. It's just like when you go directly to the site, you update your stuff. And imagine an AI being able to do 100 different more forms of authentication, because again, unlike a human or like one specific, like a static system, it's just got so many more things that it can run. Again, we always talk about the fact that AI is really great in managing big data. It can process massive reams of data from here to the moon and back, of data in the span of seconds in a way that a human, and even more, we'll say rudimentary, but I don't mean that insulting, like, but more rudimentary systems aren't capable of doing, just because they're not the same style. They're not the same kind of technology. AI can really become a partner in both helping businesses secure not just their premises, but their actual information, and then the individual on an individual basis. So it's really exciting when you look at the future of security with AI. Again, like most spaces, it is really endless because you're talking about something that has near limitless capability, and that is designed to adapt and adjust to things. So, but again, as companies in the AI space, not just specifically referring to ourselves, but everybody in this space, security is so important, and how you manage not just our data as internal data, but the user data and all those things are, of course, paramount. And so it's really great that we have topics like this, we have discussions like this. It's really a core in it's just one of the core tenets. Oh, and I wrote an extra note. Sorry.
No, I did.
I'm not sorry, but I wrote an extra note that I wanted to bring up, and that was. I can't remember if it was Paula or Jess. I can't remember which one of you ladies said it, but it struck me when we were talking about things like security and how important it. I think Paula, you were talking about it, and how important it is that companies, uh, you know, be known for being secure. Um,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
one of the things that came to mind was this idea of trust, and specifically that trust is going to become a currency, similar to how influence and followers has become a currency. So last week, when we were talking about regulating, I think it was last week when we were talking about regulating AI.
Yeah.
We were talking about deep fakes and this idea of being able to tell the truth versus fake news. When we talk about security, there's security in information, not just is my information secure, but can the information be verifiable and can you trust it? Because if you can't trust that this email is directly coming from whatever company it says it's coming from,
Mm.
you might fail to, you just say, I'm not even going to interact with them anymore, whether or not they're legitimate or not, or if they've been deep faked by somebody else out there. I don't want to deal with it. And so that becomes a threat to companies as well, because when you're talking about security, if you're not able to kind of get ahead of the circumstance, ahead of the, cyber piracy, all the different, it can become a major liability for companies. And so being able to have a track record and have, certain considerations that are just, again, a part of how you work will become as important as well, this CEO also has, 50 million followers on Twitter and, everyone listens to what they say. Okay, yes, but we can't even trust that it's them and not a deep fake,
Yeah.
right? Things like that. So security matters because it's so a part of what's going to be the currency of trust in the future. And it's going to be a larger topic, but it is a digression to an extent. So I'll bring it back and just say, great points, Paula. And security, it's so important to us. And yeah, I'll leave it there. We have stories, but I'll leave it there for now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good. It's good. Well, ladies, thank you so much for listening through this conversation of security and adding such wonderful insight. It is always just a great thing to listen to different perspectives and just wisdom. It's good. It's good. To our Twitch users and viewers, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of our Throwback Thursday. Yeah, this is what we do on Thursdays. If you are curious as to what other shows looked like, you can head on over to our video portion on our Arghon AI Twitch channel. Yeah. Well,
when is
that
the
is it.
episode? When can they expect us next?
You can expect us next on Monday.
Yeah.
Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. British Summer Time for our favorite fun. It's just always a fun time. It's called Flags and Polls. And we have different scenarios in place. A little, how does AI do something, as to how does a human do something. Sometimes it's which way is better. Sometimes it's just pros and cons. There is never a wrong answer, though, which is so fun in the topic of AI and how we do things currently and what that looks like. So yeah, be sure to tune in, and it's going to be a fun episode. We want to say thank you to everyone watching. If you are curious about Arghon, head on over to arghon.com where you can download the Arghon AI. Begin interacting with Arghon today. If you are a coder, if you are not a coder, if you've coded some in your life, if you've never coded in your life, if you would like to learn a new coding language, or you're just looking to get into the coding game, you can head on over to arghon.com/vision 2020. We have a platform that has educational AI coding lessons along with an area for you to practice your unique AI codes. All of this is available to you right now. for free. Once again, that website is arghon.com/vision 2020. We want to say thank you so much. We will see you on Monday. So have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy this time. Let us know in the chat what you're doing this weekend, any fun movies, shows you're watching, where you're tuning in from, what the conversation of artificial intelligence looks like, where you're tuning in from. If you have friends and family who would like to get in on the conversation of AI, let them know about Arghon AI on the Twitch channel or on our social media platforms. All right, until Monday, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.